ah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 38 of the phenomenon known to mankind as Saturday afternoon's main event. We've been doing this show since 2021, and for some reason I feel like I need to say this because for those of you who do not know me, after watching, after listening, after following on all our social media platforms, if you still somehow, some way do not know who I am, I suggest you go back to school. Go into your local library, get the biggest dictionary you can find, preferably Merriam-Webster, and look me up under the word phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the phenomenal one. And of course, here on Saturday afternoon's main event, I'm not alone because I have my comrade, my brother from another mother, dimension, century, you name it, we got it. The one and only limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, who is not having a hard time holding his alligators down. So, guys, please, to introduce my co-host, give me 2 claps and a peep stage.
Woo!
There we go.
Good grief. We got a really loaded show. And of course, just as we start with this show, I got an Amazon delivery outside. So go figure. But of course, before we get into all of that, and before I go to bring this package in, we know it's a great Saturday. We know everybody's here for one reason only, and that's to enjoy the great sport that is professional wrestling. And we are here to get you prepared for that. And the only way we do that is with the 3 tenets. And those 3 tenets are, drum roll please, laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. There you go.
That indeed sounds like a plan, peeps. So
Yes.
look, my friend, you go ahead and you go get that Amazon delivery. I'll
Yes.
go ahead and key in the handles to the fellow listeners. And once you get back, we can go ahead and kick off this show the right way, don't you think?
Gotcha.
No problem, indeed. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for going ahead and tuning in here on Same. Of course, it is a wealthy, amazing Saturday today because we have a lot in store for you guys. It seems like the listeners are already timing in. Taekwon Mills, of course, he says this old man wrote the testaments. Taekwon, you most definitely might be correct. The fact that he still even gets Amazon deliveries baffles me. But, beyond all else, it's a Saturday, it's the afternoon. So let's go ahead and do things the right way by going ahead and getting into Saturday afternoon's main event. Of course, guys, if you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, we appreciate you guys for going ahead and staying through on your Saturday afternoon, whether you're at home, at work, on a train, in the car, whatever you might be doing right now. We appreciate you guys for going ahead and sitting through and listening to us, enjoying wrestling with us, and of course, like Pete said, laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. The 3 tenets that make a Saturday afternoon what it is for us. Now, with that being said, it seems like Peeps is kind of taking a long time, probably using his cane, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. But
Yeah, I had to use the hourglass to see where it was going to be, eh? Yeah.
we're gonna do with you, man. But with that being said, once more, let's go ahead and kick right in with the show. Of course, guys, when you hear this sound, that wasn't the sound I was looking for, but it seems like we might be on the road to something. You know what? He's here.
Oh boy.
All right, my producer's telling me he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Yes, indeed. That's right, folks. I said to you guys I would come if one thing happened, and it did last night. It's because all of you are going to sing my boy's song. That's right. Dirty Down is now a 2 belts, I should say, heavyweight champion. He is now, without question, the greatest intercontinental Because you see, this is John Cena winning his 17th at WrestleMania 41. And I would like to say thank you to Malone, a good friend of mine. He actually gave me this painting because the one that I had before, it was just bland. But really and truthfully, John Cena's 17th means absolutely nothing. Because why? Dominic Mysterio, El Campeon, is now the AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion. It is once again great to be back with you guys. Folks, I am still your uncle, Triple C. And you know, my pristine colleague, Mr. 411, he's not here because he said, Unc, I know Dominic Mysterio is going to win that title. And he has, because I came to gloat. Because for the past 2 years doing this show, I came to gloat to you, the audience, the people here on Saturday afternoon's main event. You know, guys, the last time that I was here doing a full show, I did make the announcement and I said a lot of things that I apologized to my nephew. I apologized to Peep Snake, apologized to Mr. 411. And I kind of sort of apologized to the people. But today, your uncle is here to apologize to you viewing audience here on Saturday afternoon's main event. Because you see, folks, I did what I had to do back then. But you know, guys, I can't ever say that the devil that you guys know wouldn't do it to you guys again. What would be best for business? But then again, who would you rather trust? The devil you know? Or the devils you don't? But anyway, I am here live, here in studio, to grace the people here, because every single last one of you, you still remember this. It is still under the umbrella of the Uncle Triple C era. Because you guys, I am still here live in studio. So guys, I just want to say, from the people that are watching at home, you two guys, all of you will sing my boy's song, Dirty, Dirty Dom, Dirty, Dirty Dom. That's right, because my boy is the Intercontinental AAA Mega Heavyweight Campeon, Dominic Mysterio. Unlike that deadbeat Rey Mysterio, the 20-year vet Dom has done it. Something Rey has never done. But anyway, guys, thank you for having me. It is great to see you guys. It is great to be here on Same.
How do you follow that up? How do you follow that up?
I'll tell you how you follow it up, Nate. Come on, Nate. We are going to toast. That's right, we are going to toast. Hey, Phenomenal One, the People's Nature Boy. Everybody out watching at home, toast to Dominic Mysterio.
I can't even believe
Might as well. There you go.
I can't even believe I'm doing this. Wow.
In all seriousness, and we talked about this before. Dominic, and I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about this also later in the show. But Dominic right now has put himself on a trajectory with a rocket strapped to his back, and I think the sky is the limit, without question.
Indeed. Jokes aside, it's funny because we've been sitting here for months, years, listening to Uncle Triple C literally idolize Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And for the better part of a year and a half, I hated it. And then, come WrestleMania, I sat there and I somewhat had an epiphany, and I'm like, Dominic Mysterio is on a path where he is going to succeed his father by light years.
Oh, yes.
And now, finally, he's done something his father never did within the 30 years that he has been within this glorious sport of professional wrestling. And the fact that the man is still in his 20s tells you all you need to know. In my mind, Dirty Dominic Mysterio will be a future world champion, a future WWE champion. And in my mind,
Phenomenal One, the way I view it, I feel next year, WrestleMania's back in Vegas again. I feel they should enshrine Dominic into the WWE Hall of Fame because he's already been a 20-year vet. But anyway.
And the crazy part about it is he's not lying. Dominic has actually been in the business that long since he was a kid. Oh, good grief.
Kid was getting checked before I was even thought of. Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah, go figure.
Good grief. But
as you guys say, laughs, good times, wrestling news possible. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm sure the viewing audience are here to receive.
Yes.
Indeed.
There
Indeed. So look, without further ado, I think it's only fair to go ahead and begin the show after that glorious vitriol from Uncle Triple C. Thank you very much, Doug. But
there you go.
Guys, when you hear this sound, I think the producer got it right finally. It's time for one thing and one thing only. Peeps Nage, brace yourself because, guys, it is time for
Wrestling Crash Course.
Oh, I guess it affected both of you guys. Jeez.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we're
earth-shattering stuff.
Good grief, peeps.
Yes.
But from here, we're going to go ahead and begin with the first piece of wrestling news for Wrestling Crash Course today. We're getting A-Rap money, guys! A-Rap money! Where's Akon? Where's DJ Khaled when you need them? We're getting A-Rap money! Yes. WrestleMania 43 will be held in Saudi Arabia. Are we surprised? I don't even know what to say to this because part of me is like, oh, cool, WWE's going global. But another part of me is like, are you kidding? And you see, look, Uncle Triple C is looking in his wallet for the funds to go to WrestleMania 43 when all of us know that our funds are not existent for that. So why is it that they choose to do this? Peeps Nate, we start with you.
Well, the one thing that the WWE over the last, say, 2-3 year span, since the ouster of Vince McMahon and the sale of WWE to TKO, the one thing that they have set above all else, outside of being better, outside of improving their product, outside of distancing themselves from the scandal that was Vince McMahon, was what? Bulletproof Kevlar wallet. That's all they've been looking for. And that's putting more money in their wallet than at any other time possible to make this company even more profitable than they already are. We already know the profits are all the way up. The reason why we know is because they tell you every single week the most profitable we've been, records, gates, record sales and merchandise, record sales. And of course, the sales for those are huge because they've increased the price for 500-600%. So something that would have cost you, say, $100 4 years ago, probably closer to $300-$500 now. Tickets are through the roof. And when I mean through the roof, I mean through the roof. Mm-hmm. It is insane that we are at a point in time where the WWE has basically made a decision that has zero to do with their fans. This entire debacle of what we are going to dissect is not a move for the fans. This is a move for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is a move for WWE. This is a move for TKO, more importantly. And I think that it shows based on that UFC model that they've been using for the last, I don't know now, 2-3 years. and it's working in lockstep with all of the shareholders and all of the people that are having money in their hands, pulling out money, waiting to help out and try and get themselves a little further off than they already are. Because this was not a move for the fans.
At all. At all.
Not at all.
Triple C.
Well, I'll say this. From a business standpoint for WWE, I'm going to take a little different approach. It makes the most sense because what are you in it for? You're in it to make money. That's just the bottom line. The bottom line is the dollar. And from a business standpoint, I applaud WWE because, hey, you're trying to make a profit. So going to Saudi, granted, I know, there's a couple of people here, and us included, we call it blood money. The bottom line is this. WWE, they did it for the greener pockets. Fine. As far as us, the fans, look, I mean, clearly, we're upset. Clearly, it's not a great PR move for the fans. But at the end of the day, for WWE, it's all about making money. And I know sometimes you're like, well, what's the problem? Like, why would they go to Saudi, for WrestleMania? My biggest thing to me, at least on a PR standpoint, well, listen, when things that they did to Hogan and, past wrestlers that, they blackballed and they didn't want in their company anymore, or whatever the case may be, or the things that they've done. Well, listen, at the end of the day, to me, I just feel like they just completely crapped as far as having the first international WrestleMania, because listening to Triple H talk about, the great fans of the Saudis. Well, Paris, London, those two countries that don't ring a bell, I should say cities that don't ring a bell. Well, listen, at the end of the day, they did what they had to do, and they did what was best for their pockets. And that's what they did. And kudos to WWE for doing that. But as far as the PR stuff, yeah. And I agree with Nate. Listen, what used to cost $100 is now costing $300-$400. And of course, who gets shafted? It's the fans.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But Uncle Triple C, I have to ask you this. Undertaker, who was at the press conference, was asked a simple question of, you were in attendance for the Fury and Ngannou fight that also took place in Riyadh. What are your thoughts on what fans should expect if this is the first international WrestleMania? And for whatever reason, Undertaker was sitting there trying to encourage American fans to travel for Saudi Arabia's WrestleMania.
Really?
Uncle Triple C, as much as it can take stars to encourage fans to do certain things, and knowing that your boy Dominic Mysterio is your boy, but your guy will always be Undertaker, is there a possibility that you think that wrestlers can actually encourage US fans to go?
I'll say this. If Dominic Mysterio is going for the world's heavyweight title at WrestleMania in Saudi, I think your own folk and the people of Mexico, the US, everywhere, should descend upon Saudi. But anyway, as far as to answer your question, as far as Undertaker talking about pomps and circumstances, there's pomps and circumstances at every WrestleMania. So what the hell is he talking about? I love Undertaker. The bottom line is this. Look, here's the truth. Every single wrestler that was behind Triple H, they were there because they were told to be there. Granted, it's not like it's Triple H, that decided that, they're going to Saudi for WrestleMania, but they're getting paid by TKO. And if TKO tells you, hey, look, I need you to talk great about Saudis, and you have his excellency, there, so you're gonna have to do what you have to do. That's just what it is. Listen,
well, you guys want to know? You guys want to know a shocking story? You guys know that the wrestlers get paid bonuses for WrestleMania, right?
Right.
Do you know that since the inception of these Saudi shows in 2018, none of these wrestlers have been getting bonuses for these Saudi shows?
Is there a reason?
Yes, it's called keeping the money in their own pockets.
Wow.
This is where I will I'm going to completely rip this up. But you go ahead and Uncle, you finish what you had to say because I'm this is where I'm going to rip this whole thing.
Go ahead, Nate. I mean, go ahead.
Okay. As I said before earlier on, that this was a decision not made for the fans. You tell me, in what walk of life, that somebody that is a regular 9 to 5, as Bobby Heenan used to say, a 9 to 5 ham and egger, who is trying to make things go well for themselves and has a modicum of disposable income, is going to save up enough money for a plane flight to Saudi Arabia, which, based on which coast you're on, is roughly 10 to 15 hours of a flight. And then you're going to have money for lodging. Oh, and you're going to have money for food. And you're going to have money for merchandise. Oh, and by the way, you're also going to have money to buy the tickets to get into the building. Because we know going forward, that is where all of the money is coming from. Now, on camera, we've seen them do Saudi shows. As we know, January, the Royal Rumble is going to be there. As I said about 2 weeks ago, that's the test run for what WrestleMania can look like on camera through Saudi. So we know that that's the case. But we also know it is an exorbitant expense for the average wrestling fan. Forget about going to Saudi. Just going to a house show is expensive. And to go to see WrestleMania, which we were talking 70,000 in the front row, 35,000 further back, 10 to 11,000 a little further seats, and then you have the cheap seats at WrestleMania. I believe are going to go for like $400 or $500, if that. That's the problem. And the worst part about this is, if you looked at the press conference, and this also goes into how it was announced, the press conference was review bombed live by fans that watched it, and throughout the entirety of the announcement, all I saw was, you sold out, you sold out, you sold out, boo, you sold out. When they showed the announcement on SmackDown and during When Worlds Collide, the fans audibly booed the decision. But even more so at the press conference, and this is where I take the most offense to this. We know, based on Saudi Arabia, their policies about women and their policies on how they've treated women over the years. As you've heard me say on this show many, many times, that the women's division is the backbone of the WWE. How are they going to continue to let this be the backbone of this company when they are not treated as equals going over there? The personality of the women will be stifled, as we've seen before. We know that going forward, they're not going to be able to do what they would normally do as far as their extravagance. They'll have to work around it as far as the outfits and some of the stuff that they do. That'll be curtailed to some degree. And I'm sure they'll probably come up with a compromise to try to accommodate WWE for it to some degree. But if you looked at that press conference and you saw Liv Morgan and you saw Charlotte Flair and you saw Bianca Belair and you saw Stephanie Vaquer in the back, look like Stepford wives. They almost look like zombies. Like, why are we here? Why are we going? That's my problem as to this decision. Because we know, outside of the monetary aspect of it and the political aspect behind it, which is for completely different discussions, it's how the women are going to be or not be treated in a show like WrestleMania.
Indeed. You know, we have a comment here from, well, Uncle Triple C, do you want to get into what you're saying?
Let's
okay.
comment.
No problem. It comes from Tegar Lagajovar. He says, the reception has been generally negative towards the announcement. Simple solution to those complaining. Don't watch or attend. Going along with it just enables TKO to do more of their shtick. Frankly, my reception towards it is no, different. I will be one of those who is wise and don't plan on watching, even if there's a highly anticipated storyline leading up to said WrestleMania. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. We just don't watch. But I think, does TKO genuinely care? They're $250 million richer. And it might be more, because from what I'm hearing, the Saudi prince is paying more millions because he wants The Rock at said WrestleMania.
And I don't think that's the only person he wants over there either. I think he also wants Stone Cold Steve Austin if he can get him out. I heard that
Stone Cold, Taker, Shawn. You know, he wants this to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Where have I heard that before? But I digress.
Well, there you go.
Uncle Triple C, over to you.
I'll as far as saying the biggest WrestleMania, and that leads me to what I was actually thinking about. So perfect segue. The old chairman of the board, Vince McMahon. I have said this many, many times. We can talk about him in all the negative fashions all we want, but there, to me, no chance in hell WrestleMania would be in Saudi Arabia under his watch. That's just me talking. As far as everything else, it is what it is. Look, the bottom line is this. Oh, by the way, and a little while ago, if you guys were watching, you saw me was looking at my phone. That's because Nate said a word, and he said, more to come, and I was like, what is that? So I had to go look it up. So of course, every time Nate says something, I'm like, what the hell is this? So I go look it up. So basically means short profit. But anyway.
There you go.
So here's the thing. As far as Tagar, listen, you're one of a few, unfortunately, because at the end of the day, and I remember last week Mr. 401 said this. Listen, the only way that WWE will change, or I should say TKO will change, is if they start seeing empty seats, or they start seeing their viewership goes down through their social media and on Netflix and on soon to be ESPN and WrestlePalooza and all the blah 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 blah. The bottom line is that if you stop watching, they'll change. But for the most part, Tagar, most people are going to continue watching.
And that's the reason why they're doing it, because they are leveraging the aspect of supply and demand. The supply is there and the demand is high. So they're going to give you what you want, but it's going to be at a premium. And considering what is going on now, as far as all of the things that we've talked about, all of the small details, the one thing that can come out of this, and this is the only reason why I mentioned this, and I brought this up to my partner off air probably about 2 hours ago. This is where AEW can come in and try and do something to market themselves. I have said this over the months and months and months, and there you go. Your uncle has cashed out for right now.
He's not dimming the lights, though.
Yes, and here's the reason why. I have stated this for the longest time, that AEW, outside of them being in their own way in a lot of instances, they have a horrible job of promoting their promotion and promoting their company and promoting their product. And if they took 250,000, 100,000, whatever the budget is for promotions, and just started hammering the airwaves, the national ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, whatever, on other places, billboards, newspapers, if they're still around, a lot of these other places that they go ahead and they tell you in their marketing, we have this roster of talent that is going to be here and going to entertain you, but we're also going to do it on a scale of being affordable. If they can go ahead and preach that and hammer it in, you can bring a family of 4 or 5 to come out here and not break the bank, have access to our show, to our product, and enjoy yourself and not feel like you're going to Vegas, pun intended, then yes, they can do that. But that's part of the problem. They haven't been able to do that. And against the WWE machine, I wonder how well it would be received.
Aside from the fact that I'm sitting here kind of laughing at what Uncle Triple C was going through, it seems like he's going through a snooze currently hearing about AEW. But yes, it's okay. We're going to end this off soon. We're going to end this off quick. I just want to say this. The fact that there are so many other things that happen around WrestleMania weekend, like WrestleCon, other indie shows, other people showing up to the city that WrestleMania is in to go ahead and do business, whether it's have a show, do meet and greets, meet with other fans, whatever the case may be. There's a good chance this isn't going to happen in 2027 with Saudi Arabia. So what better way for AEW to capitalize than to host a show in a city that was supposed to get WrestleMania have all of those fans diverge around that sector of the country, host a show, have WrestleCon in that city, have all these meet and greets, have all these indie shows, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor if you want to do that. And since WrestleMania will be at around 1 o'clock in the States, you take the 8 p.m. time slot and you go ahead and you put out some of the best wrestling money can buy. And the better part of that, it's half of what you would be paying to go to a WWE show. Can you imagine the promotion that they can go ahead and pull if they wanted to go ahead and say, you know what? Forbidden Door, New Orleans, Nashville, Indianapolis, Minnesota.
There you go.
Can you imagine the promotion that Tony Khan can build around certain companies if he goes ahead and says, you know what, we're still going to follow through with WrestleCon. Just instead of doing it behind WWE, you do it behind AEW. And they set themselves up to be the alternative. Instead of going ahead and making the claim to say, this is where the best wrestle, make it make sense to say that we're the alternative because we put on the better shows, we have the better wrestling, and it's family-oriented because it's actually worth what you can actually pay.
I don't know how family-oriented you would be by getting barbed wire in the skull, but I understand your point.
Non-Boston side, hepatitis A through Z aside. You know,
yes.
I would say at least it would be much more oriented for families to sit there and be like, you know what, I can pay to go to an AEW show.
Yes, and that's where we're on the same page. Yes.
Indeed. Uncle, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see, that promotion, AEW, actually, take this, and because obviously not everybody's going to go to Saudi, and WWE, they're going to lie in 2 years' time when it's WrestleMania and say, everybody from all 50 states and all the countries are going to descend down into Saudi. BS. But as far as what you said about AEW, you're right. If they could promote in a different way, show an alternative to be like, okay, let's have everything descend upon, like you guys said, all these different cities. I could see it perhaps maybe working, having their own version of their own big event. So we'll see what happens in the future.
Indeed. We're 2 years away, so it's not like we can sit there and really know what's going to be in plans. But hey, the idea's out there. I think they should go ahead and do something like that. Because I mean, not to a degree of being petty, but hey, WWE's been counter-programming their stuff for the last couple of months. Would it hurt if they go ahead and say, you know what, we're not going to put it around the same time slot. We'll put it around the same weekend. Don't just have it later into the night. It works. Yeah. That's just me. But from there, we move to another piece in Wrestling Crash Course, and it comes from this. Saraya, and I quote, I want to be Paige again. It seems like somebody wants to go ahead and be back in the WWE. I mean, look, if AJ Lee came back, I can't reckon that this woman wouldn't come back either. Uncle Triple C, would you like to see Paige back in the WWE?
Sure, why not? I mean, I don't know if she has any unfinished business in WWE, but again, the way she did leave because of injuries, going to AEW as Saraya. So yeah, I mean, I would like to see her return, and hopefully she can have a good wrestling run. And yeah, I mean, I would like to see it. I mean, I don't know how much she can, or what, as far as the audience, how they would feel about her. But then again, she was at the time during the Divas Revolution, I should say the Divas era, and into the Women's Revolution. She was part of that, but she couldn't wrestle, towards the tail end of her WWE run. So yeah, I would like to see her return as Paige.
Okay. Yeah. Pete, same thought.
Yes, because I think she'd pretty much done everything that she could in AEW. AEW didn't really do too much afterwards with her. She could be a mouthpiece if they wanted to. You remember, she was kind of like, I believe, her last run in WWE, I believe she was like the GM of SmackDown, or Raw, one of the two shows. And they could use her in that capacity if she's, let's say, she can't physically wrestle the way she would like to. And she can still talk. So if they wanted to do that, they could probably do that. And as we said before, the one thing about the WWE is they won't fully shut the door on people that have been in the company that have left to go elsewhere to come back. Not to say that they won't be vengeful, but let's see what happens.
Indeed. Well, it seems like Uncle Triple C has to attend to Uncle Triple C duties. We'll cut him off for a quick second.
Yes.
But look, from there, it seems like we got that. But peeps, other sense of the news for today. Cody Rhodes is back.
Huh. I guess he's back just in time for that 30-day window defending the belt before he gets stripped, right? Wink.
Indeed. You know, it's something. Because, you know, I went ahead and I told you, right, that for some reason, Cody Rhodes has passed the 30-day clause. And
yes.
For wrestling fans like us who have been watching the WWE for so long, we know that once you win the WWE title, you have the 30-day clause. Within 30 days, you have to defend the title. Well, you know, understandably, Cody has had a long month. He has had to go ahead and witness the birth of his second child. So congratulations to him and Brandy and their lovely family for that. But on top of that, he was casted in the Street Fighter movie as Guile.
Yes, he's playing Guile. Yes, sir.
Which is cool, fun, no problem. But still, what happened to the whole 30-day clause thing? I think that's out the window. But peeps, you know,
unless they explain it some way.
You know what? For me, I don't even think I need explaining, but I think I have a hot take. Cody Rhodes should lose the title at WrestlePalooza. I said it. I'm tired of the title only changing hands at SummerSlam and WrestleMania. I feel that you need a sense of unknowingly title changing hands. That was what made WWE, WWE, WWF, WWF, and so on and so forth. The unexpected sense of losing the title in a certain sense of time was what made it perfect. But for me, if Cody Rhodes is going to be going on another run as champion, what does that do for you? What does it do? Because think about it, peeps. How many heels are there on SmackDown? You know what? Speaking of heels, let's bring back into Uncle Triple C.
Thank you.
Salute to you. But within a sense, how many heels are there on SmackDown? If you're counting Brock, Drew, Randy, I suppose. Oh! Look at that!
Isn't that something?
Get out of my chair!
Kings! It's the King of Kings!
Oh, boy.
316! Oh God, this is
so dirty in here.
What a show today, man!
Oh,
smell like dirty Uncle P around here. You know. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the King of Kings will make a special appearance. No wonder he drinking this stuff. It tastes like his ex-wife.
I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hot Rod, aka the King of Kings. I'm here to bless you with my presence. But I'm here to get my apology from the phenom, the uncle, drunken, whatever you call yourself. Triple D. It's Triple D, not C. But he loved the D-I-C-K. If you know what I mean. Yeah. But, did I interrupt something on this show?
So I leave
that?
It's still PG-13.
It is? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I need to go visit your mother right now. She's waiting for that Space Mountain ride. I promise her. Yeah. Dirty ride! Dirty ride! Please! Dirty ride! Call me Dirty Ride! Have a nice day! Have a nice day!
You know, aside from a lot of things, aside from a lot of things, this is not meant to be a cold joke, but I just have to make this sense. Peeps, we're getting hijacked in September.
Yes. I guess if the fans could hijack TV shows and wrestling shows, I guess we can have people hijacking Saturday afternoon's main event, huh?
I've been hijacked. You're not talking for your break? Right, get to the ratings. Let's go to break.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
You know what? There you go.
Peeps,
ratings. NXT won 654 with a 0.14 in the demo. Whereas AEW they rebounded after the horrible week last week. They did 584,000 with a 0.12 in the demo. Both shows not great, but NXT is showing more of their average, whereas AEW had to bounce back off that 472 from last week. So they could only go anything but up from where they
May I
were
ask
last
a
week.
quick question? Uncle P, do you care about the ratings?
No.
Is AEW gonna make a comeback anytime soon?
No.
So why is the Jesus Christ over there with a bad hairdo still keep talking about the ratings?
Do you have to trash the people's nature, boy?
Me and him are talking now.
Really? Yes.
But behind look, you talk crap about him.
I
Yeah.
know what you're talking
There
about.
we go.
Oh, really?
Again, as I said before to start the show, who would you rather trust? The devil you know or the devils that you don't?
This makes for great television. Good grief. You know, peeps, thank you for the ratings.
Yeah.
Good grief. Okay. Look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that marks the end of the first half of Same. Oh God, I'm loving
Yeah,
this.
it's one of those shows, folks.
Yes, indeed. When we come back, we'll get into our questions and then, of course, our last topic for today, which is around Triple A and, of course,
Yes.
Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So, stay tuned. Do not go anywhere because the second half of Same is coming up next. Boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the second half of Saturday.
You knew that was gonna happen.
Indeed. I mean, yeah. Oh gosh. Well, look. Of course, it is the phenomenal one. Alongside me is my co-host, the one and only Peep Snake, and then of course, for one night only.
Speak for me, phenomenal one. I will speak for myself. Listen, I love you, but I still speak for myself. I am still your uncle, Triple C. Although my pristine colleague, Mr. 411, he's not here. But I just want to say, we miss you, 411.
Indeed.
Yes.
But still, if we can't have 401, it's okay because we still have our uncle, your uncle. Live in studio.
You forgot one thing. What a champion.
What a champion.
There you go.
We got for later on.
Indeed. But look, we're at the part of our show where we go ahead and get into our questions. You know, Peeps and I, we love the questions. Uncle Triple C will take part in this as well today. But look, the questions make a huge part and a huge difference within the show because, of course, it is your interaction. So if you want to go ahead and be a part of Sane, in any capacity, but in this capacity, you got to do one thing. Well, if you got to go ahead and send one in, all you got to do is one thing only. DM us on Instagram at Saturday afternoons_main event. Send in the question in the words of the wrestling god, WWE Hall of Famer JBL. I guarantee it'll be on the next episode of the show. With that being said, Master Sean 007 opens up the questions for this weekend. He says, "Greetings, gentlemen. There is something about the wrestling business I never understood. Why is it okay for a male wrestler to be overrated, but a woman wrestler catches so much flack? The beauty of wrestling is that it welcomes many different body types into the squared circle. As long as you can perform and your work looks legit and looks believable, that should be the only thing that matters. But a 160-pound wrestler should not have a competitive match with someone over 300 pounds. Your thoughts?" Who wants to take this first? Peeps?
I'll take this one. I think this kind of goes into the mindset of, I guess, the stereotypes in wrestling, but also where society is as a whole. I think it's going to depend on, and this is the reason why I love professional wrestling, because literally anybody can get into the business and do something and carve out a niche for themselves. We can go and talk about Awesome Kong, who was plus sized, over 200 pounds, and was dominant in the ring. We can talk about somebody who is as polarizing as a figure in the business today, and that would be Nia Jax, who has improved leaps and bounds over how she was her first couple of stints in WWE, and is now can be, in the eyes of most people, trusted to have matches that were not the way they were once portrayed some time ago. If you're looking at it from that standpoint, yes, we've had lots of plus size women in the wrestling business that have done tremendous things, that have looked good, that have been portrayed well. I think that the idea is that we're trying to break the stereotypes and the ideals of what a wrestler is supposed to look like, where you can have somebody like Bronson Reed, who's like close to 400 pounds. But if you had a female wrestler in there at the same weight, a lot of the wrestling fans would have a certain different opinion about that. And I think those kinds of attitudes and ideals will have to change as we go forward.
I agree. The next one is a live question, and it comes from Jadenator Productions. He says, what are your thoughts on all of these WrestleMania changes from New Orleans to Saudi? And by the way, as a gift for the uncle, whenever his birthday is, get him a Rey Mysterio action figure.
You know, I have to say the commentary from the show was insane. The deadbeat comments from JBL. Oh man.
You know what's funny? True story. And you can ask my other uncle this. You know, I went on a cruise a couple years back, and this is during the inception of the Dominic Mysterio into Judgment Day era. And I went ahead and we stopped in Cozumel, Mexico. And we went into like this gift shop. And I saw a luchador mask that resembled Rey Mysterio so well. And it had the 619 on the back. And I literally texted him and I was like, yo, Unc, I'm gonna get this for you. You know what he told me? He was like, I'm not, what am I gonna do with a deadbeat's mask?
It's the truth.
Oh, good grief.
It's the truth. And by the way, hey, Jadenator Productions, no chance in hell would I ever would want a deadbeat action figure. But anyway, continue on with the question.
But when it comes down to the question, look, my thoughts, I hate it. You know, it's like you're lying to the fans. Do you know how many people I know went ahead and booked their flight for New Orleans next year for WrestleMania just for them to have to cancel it because they found out it was going to be in Vegas? Like, it's insane. Do you know how many people are sitting there waiting for WrestleMania to actually make the announcement that they're going to be in Nashville for the new Tennessee Titans Stadium? Now, knowing that there's a good chance they're not going to get it within the next couple of years because it was proposed to be 2027. Minnesota. What's more, it's like so many and still other cities are still waiting for them to come back. Cities like Atlanta, cities like Miami, cities like where else can I possibly go ahead and say, peeps? You know, like, look, I wouldn't even mind if it was Texas again, for God's sakes. Orlando, New York City.
Would they maybe venture to go back to Seattle, what they did for WrestleMania 19? So they could do that.
Like, there's so many thought processes behind the things that they can possibly go ahead and do to run this into being, okay, all about the fans. It's not. Currently right now, it's not. And it's unfortunate. But like we've been saying throughout the show, it takes us to make a difference by not attending, by not watching. And when TKO sees that we genuinely are trying to make a difference by showing them, look, your business moves are good for your pockets, but it's not good for the betterment of the future and the legacy that this company should leave behind. So that's my thoughts on it. But from there, we go from there to the last question, and it comes from Hot Rod 316, who was somehow, you know, sending in questions and also being on the show as well. He hijacks everything, man. But he said this. He said, what's the state of AEW in your opinion? Do you see them going back up this year, or is the end near? Uncle Triple C, you can fade to black now.
Wow.
Well, there we go. Oh, well, there we go. What do you expect, man? But look, when it comes down to it, here's how I see it. It's genuinely one of those things where I look at it like they have a chance to do something good. Funny enough, I heard that Sting was on Collision last night, or on a taping that's supposed to be airing this night, tonight. So, peeps, look, I know you tell me don't spoil stuff for you. It's AEW. Don't rush.
I understand.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot, man. But
I look at it, if you're going on where I think you're going, I can understand why that comment was made. I think a lot of people in their minds are looking at AEW and are hoping and praying that they are not in some sort of trouble that makes them, a lot of people giving them vibes of WCW. I don't think that that's the case, because they seem to have much more stable backing behind them. But considering the rumors that I read about yesterday or a couple days ago about potential merger of the Warner Brothers networks and Paramount, if that was indeed be the case, who knows what would come out of that?
I'm at a point where I don't even know, because if Paramount were to buy Warner Bros. And you sit there and you look at it, isn't UFC a part of Paramount now?
I believe so.
Isn't
Yes.
UFC also a part of TKO? So now with that, would you think that TKO would try to have a sense of running AEW into the ground per se? If they buy Warner Bros., then you sit there and you're like, what TV deal is AEW gonna get then? You know what happens? So does Max become a part of Paramount? So what does that mean? Genuinely, there's so many layers to it, but I just don't feel that the end is near. Because I heard this one comment, and I don't remember who it was from. I think it was CM Punk, or it had to be somebody else. But they had said, AEW will forever be alive as long as Tony Khan is dedicated into pushing money into it. That's the truth. I don't think AEW will ever want to die, because Tony Khan seems like he has a drive to either beat WWE or be better than WWE. And until he somehow realizes that dream for one solid amount of time, he'll probably be at peace in life. Until then,
I actually think his mindset is to destroy WWE. I think that's his motivating factor. I firmly believe that in his mind, he is on the same wave level, the same wavelength that Eric Bischoff was when he was running WCW, and trying to take the competition out as much as possible. And as was brought up before about why we bring up the ratings and talk about TV trends, etc. You know the reason why anyone even thinks about the ratings? It's because of Tony Khan. Tony Khan made it. He made it so that people are thinking about the ratings on a regular basis. So now,
the demo guys. The demo guys.
There you go.
What do you expect?
Okay.
But peeps, we digress.
Somebody should nudge your uncle and kind of wake him up, since
Uncle.
I'm here.
There we go.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. But look. We're done with the AEW. But look, funny thing is, the people care. They care. We have a whole bunch of people chiming in, looking to see that you're back here on Saturday afternoon's main event, live in studio. Look, people are saying thank you for the shout outs. You got people chanting your name.
Yes, there you go.
This is amazing. This is great. And then, of course, you have Max going ahead and saying canceling WrestleMania plans. Of course,
I understand.
How better does this work? But they care about you, peeps. They care about you, Uncle Triple C. They care.
Yes,
they
do.
care about this. This is what I'm ready to talk about. But I'll wait. Okay.
I guess we've reached that part of the show, huh?
Indeed, because the time for talking is over and the time for waiting is over, Uncle Triple C. You get to gloat more.
That's
We're talking about Triple A.
That's right.
Yes.
There it is.
Let me frame the question for you. Uncle Triple C, what's in store for Triple A? The floor is yours.
Yes, you have the final thoughts for today's show, man. Go for it.
Here's the final thoughts. Dominic Mysterio, as I have said now for the better part of a few years now, not only is the greatest Mysterio of all time, not only is he the greatest intercontinental AAA mega heavyweight campeon of all time, not only is he better than that deadbeat, but to me, he is a man that is going to transcend this business, because at the end of the day, the way I see it, Dominic Mysterio is going to lead AAA to the next evolution, dare I say, they may be better than AEW.
Mm.
The way I see it is this. They put the strap on Dom for one reason and one reason only. For the eyeballs. For the eyeballs. Because at the end of the day, Dominic Mysterio, I guarantee you. See, Phenomenal One likes to say, I guarantee on the next episode. Well, I guarantee somewhere down the road, Dominic Mysterio will become WWE champion. But today, I would like to say thank you to the Phenomenal One. I would like to say thank you to the People's Nature Boy. I would like to say thank you for that drunken hot rod. I would like to also say thank you to my pristine colleague, Mr. 411 Christopher Morton. And I would like to say thank you to you, the people. Because at the end of the day, all of you, every single last one of you, will sing my boy's song. And that is Dirty, Dirty Dom. Dirty, Dirty Dom. Dirty, Dirty Dom. Because, my boy, you will never, he may return soon, who knows, ever take this away from me, your uncle, Triple C.
Well, Uncle, we appreciate you for coming on the show, but I have one more question to ask you. Just
Yes.
one more. You know, and I know this is probably going to be a touchy-feely subject for you, but what title would Dominic lose first?
I can see him losing probably the IC title. I can see that. Let him hold the mega heavyweight title for a short run. And then whether it's in Saudi or whether it's the next Royal Rumble in 2027, my boy, Dominic Mysterio will main event WrestleMania. That is not a prediction. It's not a spoiler. It's a guarantee.
Well then.
And this is one of those things that we were actually on lockstep with, because I remember we talked about this about 2 months ago. And I brought that up. I said that give it 2 years. Dominic he's going to main event one of those days at WrestleMania. It might not necessarily be night 2, but the fact that they do 2 days and they have a main event for a night 1, they can treat that night 1. I can envision the same reaction that he got when he won the Intercontinental Championship. That the way he was celebrated after he won that championship showed a lot of people what to expect in the coming years. Because Dominic right now, there you go. He is a main eventer, and he's going to main event WrestleMania. Give it 2 years.
Absolutely. But
without question.
You know, look, it seems like you have scores to settle, Uncle Triple C, because people are still out here in the comments saying Dominic still sucks. You know, it's just Dom sucks. Look, you got
Ganga, you know nothing. Ganga, you know nothing. Go smoke some weed.
That's almost like The Rock saying, "Go home and smoke some more crack." Like, geez, what are we expecting here? But we have one more from Aaron W. He says, "Wrestling police." I think he probably meant to say Palooza. Don't worry, because guess what? Although this marks the end of Saturday afternoon's main event, episode 39 next week, we should be covering WrestlePalooza predictions. We should be
All In, since they're both on the same night.
All In as well. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So there's so much that we get to cover for next week.
Yes.
Do not worry, because we will get to covering that, Aaron. But look, with that being said, this marks the end to a prestigious and special episode of Saturday afternoon's main event. Oh, jeez. This picture will live in my nightmares forever.
Yes, it will.
It will. But We want to say thank you to you guys, the listeners, for sitting through an hour with us. We thank you guys so much. This was Saturday afternoon's main event. We're at a phenomenal one.
And I, the peeps, Nate.
Listen, I do it my own way. We showed up. We broadcast in the words of Uncle Triple C. That's it. Thank you for the house. Phenomenal one. The People's Nature Boy, Uncle Triple C. We'll see you next week.
This was Same, ladies and gentlemen. Peace, love, farewell.
Yeah.